Hi, I am Katie Taylor. I am a certified child life specialist and the CEO and co-founder of Child Life On Call. If you are watching this or listening to it, you have found yourself in week 5 of Child Life 101, where we take some of the basic tools and tips that child life specialists do and educate parents or professionals just like yourself so that you can start implementing them into your family life or in your everyday work. Today, we'll be talking about my favorite topic, which is shamelessly my favorite topic when it comes to being a child life specialist. And that is teaching parents how to advocate for themselves at the bedside in the hospital, when talking to physicians or providers or the care team in a medical facility, at the doctor's office, or wherever they may be. Because truly, parents have the insight and the know-how of how to support and help their child be as healthy and whole as possible. And when we teach parents to use their voice, there are so much better outcomes for kids. So let's just dive right in. Being in a hospital can be a challenging and overwhelming experience for both children and their parents. And as a child life specialist, I have become obsessed with and witnessed the fact that effective advocacy from a parent can completely impact their hospital stay. Whether it's a parent telling us about their child's unique sensory needs, or a parent finds their voice and tells us about a gut feeling that they've been having. Parent feedback shouldn't just be accepted, it should be required. So today in this episode, we will explore how child life specialists empower parents and caregivers themselves to advocate for their children. Child life specialists won't always be there. So if we can give you the tools to know how to advocate, that's the best case scenario for everyone. It brings up a really specific quote that I heard on episode 177. I'm going to play that right now.
So I'm going to say me yelling for her best interests began the second I woke up from surgery.
Kimberly's words truly highlighted for me how that instinct to advocate lives within every single parent. And part of the child life and the care team job is to make sure parents know that their voice matters. So why does teaching parents how to advocate matter? Research studies have consistently shown that caregiver advocacy positively influences healthcare outcomes for children, and that by actively participating and communicating their concerns and their preferences, parents contribute to more personalized and effective treatment plans. And this is overall what healthcare is about, that every single child and family is unique. I've seen firsthand how actively participating in their child's care and communicating those can make a significant difference on not only the child's well-being, but the parent's well-being. And that's what we're really looking for. Child life specialists recognize that the parent knowledge can make a specific difference in the child's care. So through education and support, we try to instill that confidence in parents and teach them how to actively engage with providers in decisions and with the entire healthcare team. So how do we teach parents how to advocate? Just like we break down information for children at each age level, we know how to assess parents, and we use our role as educators in the hospital to help them understand medical procedures, treatment options, the basis of the diagnosis in a way that the parent can actually retain the information. And then by understanding all of these different parts of the healthcare system, they can make more informed decisions and be able to effectively communicate their needs. So it's all great when parents can understand what's happening, but it's even better when they know how to articulate. So our goal are for parents to be stepping up in rounds, to be effectively sharing their preferences and what has worked before with their care team, with their nurses, with the techs, with the providers, so that their voice is heard loud and clear. The other thing child life specialists do is help parents navigate the hospital system. It can be incredibly overwhelming, and you may be scared to ask for something, even though you know it will make a big difference. And so I'm going to share a little story about where I saw this happen exactly. I was preparing a family for a child who was going back for an MRI with anesthesia. We had about 90 minutes until the procedure began. And so what I know is that means we've got about 45 minutes or so until things start really picking up. The child will be asked to change into the gown if they haven't already. They'll start meeting with the anesthesia team. They'll get to know the nurses. And so while all of those things are happening and the parent is having to check off all of these boxes, meanwhile, cope with the fact that their child is about to have anesthesia, there was something else on the mother's mind. She knew that the child needed labs drawn, but there weren't any labs sent over from the doctor's office. So because of the timing that I knew, I was able to encourage her to call the doctor's office, ask for the labs to be sent over to a fax machine that I knew was working. And so she did. She called her healthcare provider who sent the fax over. It ended up going to the wrong fax, but I was able to know where it was. So I went over to the fax machine. I got the orders. I was able to encourage the mom while I was going to get it to hold off on the child going back to the MRI. The mom was able to do a few things. Number one, she was able to speak with me, a member of the care team, and ask for what she wanted. Two, she was able to ask for just a few minutes so that the fax could actually come over and the child could have the orders. And three, she's making the experience better for her child because the labs were going to be drawn under anesthesia instead of having to be done awake, maybe after. And that would have not been good for anybody. It would have had a delay for the child going home. It would have needed more staff to come over and draw the labs. So this really was a win-win for everyone. She gets to have the experience where communicating her needs makes a big difference, not only for her child, but for herself and her self-esteem. The other thing we try to do is we know there's lots of personalities in the hospitals and with families and patients that come in. So we really try to create this partnership between the care team and the parents. So we are trained collaborators as child life specialists. We have training on how to talk to the multidisciplinary team. So we take that information and we share it with parents so that they can understand personalities and have a mutual respect and understanding on what the care team is going through and vice versa. Advocating can also be extremely overwhelming and upsetting for caregivers because they feel like they are having to do it all of the time. They're having to do it to their child's school in the IEP. They're having to do it with insurance. And now they're in a place where in a hospital, they feel like they shouldn't have to advocate and that the care team should just know what's going on. But unfortunately, we are all humans, for better or for worse. And so learning how to advocate and knowing the stress that may cause a family, child life specialists can give that emotional guidance and coping strategies to help parents maintain their well-being as they advocate. So there's just no question about it. In the hospital and medical setting, caregivers must be essential advocates for their children. And child life specialists play a role, a really crucial role, in teaching parents and caregivers how to effectively advocate for themselves and what they need, for what their child needs, for what their family needs are. And that ensures the best possible care outcomes for the entire family. And so when child life specialists use their skills of collaboration, communication, child development, education, and understanding the complexities of the healthcare system, we can really help parents become that empowered advocate. And that shapes their entire healthcare journey. So if you are a parent watching this, I hope that you have learned that your voice matters, that there are people in the healthcare system who want you to have a voice and want to support you. And when your gut feelings come up, we want you to speak up. When you're not understanding something, we want you to tell us to slow down. We want you to have all of the information possible so that you can support your child and we can support your entire family as a whole. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Child Life 101. We have different episodes every single week up until week 10, and we're covering all the different topics that child life specialists know and use in our practice all of the time. You can also go to childlifeoncall.com/parents and get more information and freebies that will help you help your child no matter how unique they are. We also have parent stories every single Wednesday on the podcast where parents come on and share their journeys and experiences, all so that you feel less alone during your experience. They have gone through this before. It's almost like having a mentor that you're able to listen to in the form of a podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you here next week.